जल आना बोली जबे महाप्रभु कहिला तबे शत घट आने प्रभु आगे दिला. So Lord Gauranga said, bring those 100 pots water, and the devotees, they brought the pots inside temple. प्रथमे करिला प्रभु मंदिर प्रक्षालन ऊर्ध्व अधो भीति गृह मध्य सिंहासन. In that way the Lord first cleansed the innermost sanctum of the temple, and he thoroughly cleansed. He not only cleansed the ground, but he told the devotees to throw the water on the walls and the ceilings for Jagannath's pleasure. Because when Jagannath would come to stay in a home, he would see up, he would see down, everywhere. When we go to a home, we don't go to a home where there are so many spiders in the ceilings. We don't only clean the ground, we clean the whole home. So Lord Gauranga is knowing that Jagannath is a person and Gundicha is his home. It's not very impersonal. खपार भरिया जले ऊर्ध्व चालाइला शे जले ऊर्ध्व शोति भीति प्रक्षालिया. Lord Gauranga and all his devotees themselves started throwing water on the ceiling, and the water washed the ceiling, and then the water poured down through the walls, cleaning the walls, and it fell on the ground. So it was a perfect arrangement by the Lord. श्री हस्ते करेन सिंहासन मार्जन प्रभु आगे जल आनी देह भक्त. And the Lord climbed on the Sinhasan, the throne of Lord Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra, and the Lord started cleaning it with his own hands, and the water was being poured by all his devotees. The hands, the perfection of the hands is in cleaning the temple. Nowadays the electronics, the washing machine, this, what is called that, vacuum cleaner has come to decrease our work. But when we clean the temple of the Lord, we should clean it with our own hands, because the Lord cannot be pleased with the vacuum cleaner. It's very impersonal. We should use our own hands, and then we will go back to him, we'll go to his kingdom. Of course we can use the vacuum cleaner for other tasks. Also for his service we can engage it. So भक्तगण करे गृह मध्य प्रक्षालन निज निज हस्ते करे मंदिर मार्जन. So the devotees started also cleaning the innermost home. There is a kitchen also, like a kitchen in the Jagannath temple, there's a kitchen in Gundicha also. So all the devotees started cleaning that with their own hands. केह जल आनी देह महाप्रभु करे केह जल देह चंद्र चरण ऊपरे. Some devotees were throwing water on his hands so that he could clean the place with his hands. With his wet hands he could clean the Lord's throne. But there were some even more intelligent devotees. They were throwing water on his feet. They used to throw water on his lotus feet. केह लुका ना करे शेई जल पान केह मागी लय केह लुका ना करे शेई जल पान केह मागी लय केह अन्य करे दान. So they started a water distribution system here in Gundicha. See how many divine engagements devotees are having. Some devotees started pouring water on the Lord's feet because the Lord was so absorbed with cleaning the throne with the water in his tears that the Lord did not notice, and some devotees started pouring water on his feet, and some started drinking directly from his lotus feet, and some devotees would take the water in the cup of their hands and distribute it to others. And some devotees would beg for that water, and some devotees would hanker for that. So this Charanamrit of the Lord, which is even rare for Lakshmi and Shiva, is attained by those devotees who render menial service to the Lord. घर धूली प्रणालिकाए जल छाड़ी दीला সেই জলে প্রাঙ্গণ সব ভরিয়া রহিলা. After the room was washed, that whole temple, the water was let out through the outlet and it flowed out into the yard outside, which was also cleansed. Nija vastre kaila prabhu griha samarjan Mahaprabhura nija vastre majir simhasan. So he mopped the home with his own divine clothes and he polished the throne with his clothes, with his upper cloth. Because he used his own tears and his own cloth. And ultimately water is also his own energy. That is why Shatagata jale haila mandira marjan mandira shodhya kaila jenani jaman. So he cleansed this Gundicha mandira Marjana Leela is famous for 100 pots to skill. The temple was cleansed by 100 pots and 100 brooms, and then the mandir became pure, the temple. Just like the divine mind of the Supreme Lord Gauranga himself, the temple also became like that. Oh wow, how much Jagannath must have enjoyed that year staying in Gundicha. He enjoys every year because Gundicha is Vrindavan, but that year every year was special when Gauranga was there. Because Gauranga was cleaning Gundicha every year. And Jagannath would hanker to go to that Gundicha. Now, when today, when Jagannath goes to Gundicha, he cries in separation from Gauranga. Oh, where is that Gaur Hari? Oh, who will clean this temple? Oh, how pure and cool it was 500 years back. Lord Jagannath is himself crying for that. Nirmala Shitala Snigdha Karila Mandire Apana Hridaya Jena Dharila Bahire. So he made the temple Nirmala, pure, Shitala, cool, mollifying and pleasing to everyone. Actually, just by his lotus feet, he stepped into the temple becomes Shitala. There was no need for him to clean the temple, but he showed us by his example that just like his Hridaya. One can imagine how great this writer of Chaitanya Charitamrita is, Krishnadas Kaviraj. He can understand the Hridaya. He knows the Hridaya of the heart of Lord Gauranga. That is why he is comparing Gundicha with his heart, because he knows the heart. Somebody who does not know how pure the heart is, how can he compare? Krishnadas Kaviraj, he knows the heart of Gauranga. Shata shata jana jala bhare sarovare ghate snana nahi kiya kupe jala bhare. So hundreds and hundreds of devotees were filling water in the Indradumna Sarovar and Indradumna lake, and someone started drawing water from the well also in the banks. पूर्ण कुंभलन ऐसे शत भक्तगण शून्य घट जल न जाए आर शत जन. So 100 devotees would come with 100 pots, and when the pots were empty, immediately other 100 devotees would return back with those pots to the lake to fill them. Nityananda Advaita Swarupa Bharti Puri Iha Vinuara Sab Ane Jala Bhari. That with the exception of Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Swarup Damodar, Brahmananda Bharti and Paramananda Puri, every single devotee was engaged in filling the pots with water and bringing in. Ghate ghate theki kata ghat bhangi gela shata shata ghat lok tahalana aila. And the devotees were so ecstatic to serve Gauranga that they lost their external consciousness in bliss. So they were colliding with each other. So some pots were also getting broken. And moment the pots were getting broken, more and more pots were brought. Jal bhare gar dhoya kare hari dwani, Krishna hari dwani vinar nahi shuri. So filling the water and washing the temple and loudly chanting the holy names. These are the three activities of his devotees. And so the whole place was full with Krishna, Hari, 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 Bol, Krishna. Hari, Bol. The whole Gundicha temple was filled with this divine voices. Even now one can hear this if one has spiritual ears. With no dirt. Krishna Krishna kahi kare khatera prarthana. Krishna Krishna kahi kare khata samarpan. So it was like a chain they found from the Indradyumna lake to the temple. And Krishna Krishna, give me the pot. They would transfer the pots from one devotee to another. They would deliver it to one on that chain. Jai Jai kahe Shri kahe Krishna naam, Krishna nama haila sanket sab kame. That Krishna naam became the sanket. Sanket means what? The indication for anything. They wanted to tell us, some other devotee, Krishna, Krishna, give me the pot. Krishna, Krishna. Krishna became the name. Everyone used to chant Premaveshe Prabhu kahe Krishna Krishna naam, Ekale Premaveshe kare Shatjanera kaam. So in ecstatic love, Lord Gauranga was chanting Krishna, 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 Krishna. And he was doing the work of 100 people even while chanting. Shatohot se kare na jena shalana marjan, pratijana pashi karaha shikshan. It was as if that Lord Gauranga has manifested 1,000 hands, 100 hands. What is the problem? He showed in the universal form, he showed millions of hands. So 100 hands is no problem. But the surprise thing was, even with 2 hands, he was doing the work of 100 hands. And he went to every single devotee and he taught them how to do this service. Bhala karma dekhi tare kare prasansha, mane na mili le kare pavitra bharsan. So, seeing good service, he would praise the devotee. But seeing that the devotee is a little slack, a little lazy and cleansing, he would chastise very lovingly, very purely. Pavitra Vatsan. Tumi bhala karyacha shikha annere, ei mata bhala karma sheho jaina kare. He would tell those who would not clean so nicely that, you see, please do it, because so that others can learn from you. See, you are the example. In that way you would to lovingly correct them. Ei mata shunya sabe sankuchita hona, bhalamate karma kare sab mana diya. In that way the devotees would feel very ashamed and embarrassed, and they would start doing even more with greater attention. They start cleaning. Tabe prakshalana kaila Shri Jagamohan, Bhoga mandire adi tabe kaila prakshalan. In that way Jagamohan hall was cleansed, and then the Bhoga mandir was cleansed at the behind. Natashala dhuli dhuliya chatura prangan, pakashala adi kari kaila prakshalan. So where the Lord sits, the hall in front of the Lord is known as Jagamohan, then the center hall is known as Natashala, and the back the Bhogamanda. So all three were cleansed, and after that the Lord cleansed the courtyard, prangan, and after that the kitchen, the pakashala. Mandire chaturdik prakshalana karila, savanta pura bala matte do aila. So everything was cleansed, including the most internal parts, within and without. Hena kale gaudiya ek subuddhi sara, prabhura charana yuge dilo ghato jol. At that time, one Gaudiya devotee from Bengal, who was actually very intelligent and very simple, he had seen other devotees getting the charanamrita, the water from the lotus feet of the Lord, which is very rare. So he said, I should try to get it. And he came with a pot and he poured the water on the lotus feet of Lord Gauranga. Shei jal na apne paan kaila, taha dekhi Prabhu Ramane dukha rosha haila. And he took that water and he drank it himself ecstatically. Actually, it's the right thing to do. Because Krishnadas Kaviraj says, by hook or by crook, get these three things: the water which has washed the feet of the Lord or his devotees, the foodstuff, the remnants of the foodstuffs left by the Lord and his devotees, and the dust from the lotus feet of the Lord and his devotees. These three things, get them by hook or by crook. So this Gaudiya did the right thing as per the scriptures. He was not even ashamed of the Lord. But the Lord became externally very displeased and angry. Yadyapi Goshai Tare Hanache Santosh, Dharma Sanstapana Lagi Bahir Maharosh. Although internally he was very satisfied with his action, externally he became very angry just to set the principles of bhakti. Shiksha lagi sarupe daki kailata hare, ek dekh tomara Gaudiyara vyavhare. The Lord called Sarup Damodar and said, you see this Gaudiya devotee, because you are the leader of all the Gaudiyas. So see this Gaudiya, what his behavior is doing inside the temple. Ishwara mandire mora paradho aila, shei jala apnila na pan kaila. The person, this devotee, has washed my feet within the temple of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Jagannath. And not only did that, but he also has drank that same water. Hey अपराध मोर कहाँ बेगती, तुम्हारा Gaudiya करे ते कफा फैजती. So beautiful word. So Lord Gauranga said, oh, what will be my destination when my water has been drunk inside the temple? Normally, when the Lord is worshipped, no other living being is worshipped there. Because Gauranga is God himself. The Sinhasan of Jagannath is actually meant for him. But he is teaching us as in the mood of a devotee. Tabe Sarup Goshai Tare Hade Haat Diya, Dheka Mari Puri Ra Bahir Rakhile Na. At that time, Sarup Damodar caught the devotee lightly by the neck and just pushing him lightly, he took him out of the temple as if to give him punishment so that the Lord is satisfied. Puna asi Prabhu paye karila vinay, agya parada shama karite jujay. He came back and he requested the Lord, my dear Lord, he is ignorant. Please forgive his offense. My dear Lord. तबे महाप्रभुर मने संतोष होइला, सारी कोरी दुई पाशे सभारे बसाइला. Then Lord Gauranga was satisfied externally, and then he made all the devotees sit down in two lines in front of him. Apane vasiya majhe apnar hate, trin kankar kuta lagila kudai te. The Lord then personally sat down in the middle and picked up all kinds of straw, grains, sand and dirty things. Kekata kuda sab ekatra kariba, yara alpatar thai pitha pana laiba. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started picking up the straws and grains of sand, and he said, I will check everyone's collections, and those who have collected less will pay a fine to those who have collected more. That fine will be what? Sweets and cakes of Lord Jagannath Mahaprasad. Ei mata sabo puri karila shodham, shitalo nirmala kaila jena nijama. So this is the fourth cleaning. First cleaning with the broom. Second cleaning of picking up of these fine particles. Third cleaning is the washing by the water. And the fourth cleaning is even after the water is washed, picking up again finest particles which have remained all along. Pranalika chadi yadi panira vahaila, nutana nadi dekha jena samudra milila. When the water was flowing from all the different temple rooms, it was looking as if an ocean. Rivers are merging into the ocean in the courtyard of Gundicha temple. Such a beautiful scene. Ei mata purvadware aage patha jata, sakala shodita taha ki barni bekata. In this way, outside the gateway of the temple, all the roads were also cleaned. And nobody could understand how exactly and how quickly everything was done. By the inconceivable potency of Lord Gauranga. Nirshinga mandira bhitar bahira shodhila, shaneka vishrama kari nritya arambhila. So the Lord cleansed the inside and the outside of the Nirshinga temple also. And he rested for a few minutes after cleansing. The cleansing is over now. So the Lord has begun his dancing. There are a few verses only. Complete the chapter.
Yes.
चारिदिके भक्त गण करे न कीर्तन, मध्य नृत्य करे न प्रभु simhasan. So in the courtyard and in the inside rooms of Gundicha, Lord Gauranga started dancing like a lion, and as if the devotees were chanting around him, surrounding him, a very ecstatic congregational chanting in the four directions. All the devotees are surrounding him. Shveda kampa vaivarnyashu pulaka honkar, nijanga dhui aage chale ashrudhar. So the Lord was exhibiting all kinds of ecstatic symptoms like trembling and perspiration and fading and tears and jubilation and roaring, and he was washing his own divine body with his own tears. Charidike bhakta sangha kaila prakshalam, shravanera megha jena kare varshan. Just like in the rainy season, the rains, they are so excessive. Similarly, the tears from Lord Gauranga's eyes were just like the rains of the rainy season, this Shravana month, raining down on all the devotees. So the devotees cleaned the Gundicha, now Gauranga is cleaning them with his tears. Mahaucha Sankirtane Akasha Bharila, Prabhura Uddanda Nritte Bhumi Kampa Haila. So Mahaucha, there was loud roaring Sankirtan, no microphones were required because the divine sound was enough to even shake the universe, to pierce the coverings of the universe, and the sound of Sankirtan entered into the Vaikuntha. And Uddanda Nritya, and seeing the, Uddanda means, there is no English word for this, tumultuous dancing, or we can say that ecstatic dancing. The earth was quaking actually. People thought that there's an earthquake. Swarupera Uchchagana Prabhu Sada Bhai Anande Uddanda Nitya Kare Gaura Rai. Swarup Damodar was singing very loudly, and this loud singing was very dear to the Lord of Swarup Damodar, because Swarup Damodar in Krishna Leela is whom?
Larita Singh.
Vishakha.
Swarup Damodar.
Vishakha is singing always. Vishakha sings loudly in Radha Krishna's pastime. That's why Kavi Karnapur in Gaur Ganotha SDV Kai says that Swarup Damodar is Vishakha. So, the loud singing of Swarup Damodar was very pleasing to the Lord. And hearing this, the Lord would dance. Hey Mata Katha Krishna Nitya Je Karila Vishrama Kariya Prabhu Samaya Bujiya. In that way he danced very ecstatically. Then he understood it's time to take some rest. He stopped. Acharya Goshaira Putra Shri Gopalana Nitya Karite Tanre Agya Dila Gauradham. The son of Srimad Lord Advaita Acharya. His name was Gopal Das. His three sons, Achyutananda, Gopal Das and Krishna Mishra. His three sons were great devotees. So out of that, Gopal Das was the youngest. So the Lord ordered, Gopal, now you dance. You have seen my dance. You have got love. Now you dance. And Gaurdham ordered Prema Veshe Nitya Koiri Haila Murchi Achetana Hanate Na Padile Bhumi. Then by the dancing of the order of Gauranga, Gopal Das became very ecstatic and he became unconscious. He fell down to the ground in an unconscious situation. Actually he went into a trance, into samadhi, into the pastime of the Lord. There's one verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Prabhum Vande Balopiyad Anugraha, Balopiyad Anugraha, Tarain Nana Matkraha Vyaptam Siddhanta. Even a child can enter into the pastimes by the mercy of Gauranga. No need to read the scriptures. Ashte Vyaste Acharyatane Kaila Koli Swasarahita Dekhi Acharya Haila Vikale. Immediately Advaita Acharya ran and took Gopal Das on his lap, and he tried to see if Gopal had some breath. There was no breath. The breath had stopped, and so Acharya became even more anxious. Nirshinga mantra padi mare jal chanti hunkare shabde brahmand jaye faati. Then Advaita Acharya started chanting the Nirshinga mantra. He knew that his son has gone into samadhi, but he thought that some ghost has entered. So Nirshinga Dev's name, the ghosts run away. So he was chanting the Nirshinga mantra and he started slapping his son. Come back to consciousness, Gopal. And he started loudly roaring, just like he was roaring when before Lord Gauranga took birth. When he was offering tulsi leaf and Ganga water, Sriva Sangan, he was roaring. Similarly, he started roaring very loudly. He was not attached materially to his son. It was a spiritual attachment. So Vaishnava Sangha. Such a great Vaishnava, Gopal Das. And who can bear his separation? So Advaita could not bear his separation. So the universe, the covering of the universe got broken by the loud roaring of Advaita. Aneka karila tabu na hoye chetan Acharya kande na kande sab bhakta gan. So he tried a lot, but Gopal would not come back to consciousness. So then Advaita Acharya started crying, and all the devotees seeing the crying of Advaita, they also started crying. Everyone started joining the crying and feeling separation from Gopal. Tabe Mahaprabhu tar buke hasta dila, utah Gopala boli uchcha sware kahila. Then the Supreme Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who is Bhakta Vatsal, cannot see the suffering of his devotees even for a moment. Immediately he came and put his hand on the chest of Gopal and he said 3 words in Bengali. Utha Gopal. Sorry, 2 words. He says, Utha Gopal, Utha Gopal. Even now the most refined devotees of the Lord, when they go to Gundicha, they can hear these 2 words. Utha Gopal. His pastimes are eternal. They are always present in his holy abode. Utha Gopal. So he said loudly, Shunite Gopalera Hailaya Chetan Hari Boli Nitya Kare Sarva Bhaktagan. Hearing the Utha Gopal, the order of the Lord, Gopal immediately came back to consciousness. And he got up and all the devotees started dancing, chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So Gopal had gone into the trance in the pastimes of the Lord, but then with the order of the Lord he came back to consciousness. Leela Varniyache Das Vrindavan Ataiva Sankshipte Kahilu Varnan. This pastime of Gopal falling unconscious in Gundicha, already described by Vrindavan Das Thakur. That is why I am describing it only in concise form. Tabe Mahaprabhu Kshane Vishrama Kariya Snana Kari Bare Gela Bhakta Gana Lana. So after cleansing the Gundicha temple like that, and after dancing in Gundicha, the Lord went to take bath with all his devotees after taking some rest. Tire uthi parhina Prabhu Shushka Vachamsam Nrsinga Deve Namaskari Kela Upavan. So in that way, the Lord, after bathing, he put on dry garments and he offered obeisance to Nrsingadev. You know where is this Nrsingadev? This Nrsingadev is just next to Indradyumna lake. He is known as Shanta Nrsinga. Indradyumna lake. The Lord went to take bath in Indradyumna lake after washing Gundicha temple with all his devotees. And then he came out and he offered obeisance to Shanta Nrsinga. And then he entered into the garden. And Maninath Rai and other devotees brought some Mahaprasadam to the Lord, and the Lord had a divine feast. So in that way we end the pastime of cleansing of the Gundicha temple today on the 26th of June 2006. Hari Hari Om Nityananda Gauranga Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Gundicha Marjana Leela ki, Gundicha Mandir ki.